All right, how much does a aluminum manual steering box weigh? It's 12 pounds. How much does a power steering cast iron steering box weigh? 35 pounds. So we saved 23 pounds there. In the water pump housing, we saved 11 pounds. So far, we're saving 34 pounds out of the car. I still have to do the heads and the intake manifold. Probably do that on a later video though. I always put some grease on here to get it to seal pretty well. That's too much. All right, so my buddy Robert, when he ran this engine in his Duster, he ran an electric fuel pump. I want to run a mechanical fuel pump, so I bought a Mancini Racing fuel pump Pushrod. You can see the part number here, MRE 5249569. So we're going to install that right now. And to do that, got to pull this plug right here. I'm going to go ahead and put assembly lube. Here's my assembly lube. In here, because it can't hurt. Also going to put assembly lube around here. The idea that it's sort of greased up so that when you push on the rod, it goes up and stays up long enough for you to get the fuel pump in there. If you just leave it dry, well, first of all, it's not good to have dry metal anything in there, but you know, it wants to just slide down. So hopefully all right, gonna open up the box to my TTI headers. TTI headers came with these header gaskets, you know, and I've used them before. Kind of crappy. You almost always blow them out, start leaking. So once I discovered these, a friend of mine at the drag strip said he ran them. He was running a Challenger, and he sweared by them. In fact, he pulled the headers off and reused the gaskets, and they didn't leak. So I started trying them, and ever since I ran them, I run them exclusively. These are like aluminum gaskets for the headers, and I'm telling you, they work great. From Percy's, I think Percy's and Taylor merged or something, but so they might say Taylor's, they might say Percy's, but these are great. If you don't like header leaks, this is what you want to use. Just kind of show you the construction too. They're like basically layers of aluminum. Looks like about 4 layers. About 4 layers or so. They're just sort of pinched and like welded together. So just put those guys in there and away you go. Grab the header. All right, so I got a little bit ahead of myself. I wanted to get the engine over to the car, so I brought it over, put it underneath the car. One thing I didn't have was the headers, so that's why I have the lift basically held up by jack stands so that I can put the headers in underneath the car. It's easier going in from the bottom, trying to snake that stuff in from the top. I also have to put the transmission lines in. Unfortunately, the way we designed that dolly, we have a bracket that attaches to the bottom of the block where the transmission meets it, and headers hug the block and tranny so close that you can't get that out. So I can't tighten the headers until I get that piece off. And I can't get that piece off until I bolt the K-member to the car. So once I get the trans lines in, I'm gonna leave the headers loosey-goosey. I'm going to lower the car down, bolt the K-member to the car, then I can raise the car, K-member, and drivetrain up and pull this lift off of the car and then tighten down the headers. So that's where we're at. All right, these are my brand new transmission lines that I got from Inline Tube, just like I got all my brake lines and stuff to make some good stuff. I've used them before. I don't know why they bent this shorter. I think this could have totally fit in the box, but whatever. All right, so I'm gonna have to bend this and straighten it and put it here in the car. All right, so if you're doing this way, what I should have done is I should have installed this before I put the K-member on, because now I'm gonna have to snake it through there. It's gonna be a little more of a pain in the ass. See that bracket right there? That's for a shifter. I need to take it off so that the transmission line's clear. Alright, so this is going to be fun. So I got the transmission lines mounted back on the transmission. They're back here. And the TTI headers are like right against the transmission lines. So that blue bracket is what I was talking about as far as what's holding up the motor and trans on this dolly. So I'm probably gonna have to do a lot of tweaking to these lines to try to get them away from the header. I can't have the header touching them, obviously. So next thing to do is to get the car down to the K-member. So see, there's the frame rail, there's the K-member. Get this guy down here, bolt up the K-member, bolt in the trans mount, and then the car will be holding the drivetrain, and then I can pull this dolly out, that bracket off. I can tighten up the headers to see where they're gonna, their final resting place is gonna be, and then figure out the trans lines, tweaking them and bending them so that they do not hit the headers. That's where we're at. Look at that. Yeah, that looks pretty. Oh man, that is beautiful, if I don't say so myself. That's how you load a drivetrain in from the bottom on a Mopar. Well, guys, we're getting close, but man, time is running out pretty fast. I got 2 months before the duct tape drags, and I'm supposed to be going to, well, I am going to Mopars at the Strip. I mean, muscle cars at the Strip. That's like mid-September. So that gives me 6 weeks to have this car pretty much done and buttoned up, and as much progress as I've made, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. So got my fingers crossed. I'm gonna hammer away at it, try to finish it best I can. I'm hoping that I could at least get the car running, like it'll start up and it'll drive up onto a trailer and off of a trailer. If I can at least get that far, I'd be happy. But I don't know, we still got a lot of work to do, so wish me luck. Alright, so just kind of showing you how high the car is. So you would, if you were pulling the motor and drivetrain out, you get it about this high. The rear valance on the car is about touching the ground, so it's as high as it'll go. And then you just pull the drivetrain out sideways, which it will clear. And if you're putting it in, you would bring the drivetrain in from the side like I did, and then you'd lower the car over the drivetrain down to the